Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of 9 R.I.P. Running on Nintendo Switch 2. And we are on the Sena route.
ここ聖者生きている人が住む世界他に隔離用ってのがあるけどそれは死者の住む世界まあ天国とか地獄とかそういうとこじゃない詳しくは知らないけど
Huh? So all that stuff is real? If there was a world of the dead, that was probably where my father was. If that was the case, I wanted to be with him.
で心残りだけどあてはあんの
Well, if I had to say, thoughts of my family came to mind, and I immediately felt consumed with sadness. Mom, sis, I must have made them both so sad. I couldn't help but wonder how they were doing, but I knew it would be too painful to visit them at that point. Then there was Sayaka. I had made her cry, which ended up being the last time I saw her. I still felt bad about that. If only there was a way to talk to Sayaka, but I guess that's impossible. Feeling low, I felt a tap on my shoulder.
頭の整理がつくまで俺の仕事手伝って
Huh? With that, he quickly stood up.
明日ここに昼の1時よろしくね
Wait a second. What do you mean, your work? So the concept of work exists, even for people who have died?
あ忘れてた俺のことは紅葉って呼んで
Right, I got it. Hey, wait. Can you at least tell me about this job?
まさか学生だからなんて言わないよね勉強で忙しいわけないし学校がバイト禁止でも関係ないし
Well, I wasn't planning on rejecting the job for the reasons he mentioned, but his words also helped me realize something. He's right. I guess I don't have to worry about my future at all anymore. I was dead after all. I didn't have much of a future, much less a career to think about. I quickly realized I wouldn't have to carry those worries around with me anymore. Still, that's probably not something to be happy about.
ねえ聞いてるおーい
Sorry. Anyway, just let me think about the job, okay? I need some time to think it over alone. Silently, I wondered if there was some way for me to get in contact with Sayaka. I simply can't leave things as they are.
あそう来たくなきゃいい
Thanks. That's a relief.
俺が勝手にあんたを探すから
So you are forcing me to do it.
であんたの名前は
What's with this guy? Why is he so forward? We just met. Isshiki. It's Isshiki Misa. I was still uncertain about him, but since he'd given me his name, I figured I should at least give him mine. He may be a little pushy, but I don't think he's that bad person.
素直いいパートナーになりそう
I haven't agreed to do this job with you, so don't call me your partner.
ミサは俺の拾い物だけど拾ったものをどうしようと俺の勝手でしょ
Now I wish he would have just left me on the ground. I couldn't help it. He ticked me off. When I turned my face away from him, he pinched my cheek. Hey!
そういう顔してると悪いこと起きんぞ
I slapped his hand away, but rather than getting upset, he merely laughed happily.
いいねあんたのこと気に入ってきた
What was he so happy about? I hadn't the faintest idea.
てかさっき考えたいことあるって言ったけどそれって心残りに関係ある
Yes. Please don't ask me anymore. Even if he asked, I wasn't sure I could answer. Koya had been very kind to me, but I wasn't ready to tell him everything about me yet. Still, seeing as he dragged me this far, I get the feeling he's going to end up asking me. I decided to try and change the subject before he could ask. There's something I want to ask you. The whole thing felt incredibly forced. His skeptical look is killing me. I knew I had to come up with something to ask. Why is it that people who are alive don't seem to notice us? Though I came up with the question on the spot, it was thanks in part to Sayaka. She often thought about things like that.
そんなの無理に決まってんじゃん。霊力ある人間なら別だけど、普通の人間にはまず無理。
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I should have known that was the case, but I still couldn't help but feel disappointed. It finally began to hit me that Sayaka didn't notice me at all before.
人間には無理でも、犬とか猫なら反応する時もある。赤ん坊もだっけか。どうだったかな。
Oh, babies too, huh? I mean, they kind of make sense. They're always freaking out over something. You think babies can see us?
赤ん坊の時の記憶ないし、聞いても答えてくれないから真偽は不明。
Yeah, I guess you're right about that. Koyo, you sure do seem to know a lot about this stuff. Were you into the occult before?
まあ、ちょっとね。今のはネットに載ってる知識だし、結構知ってるやついる。
Huh? What does that mean?
聞きたいことってそれだけ？
Yeah, thanks for letting me know.
どういたしまして。また何かあったらいつでも聞いてきて。それじゃあ明日。
Right, tomorrow. Wait, I never said I was going to help you with your job. Koyo merely laughed at my response and disappeared into the crowd of people. Well, he could be a little forceful, but I was glad to have him teach me about this world of the dead. Back before, if I'd kept crying like that, my emotions could have gotten out of control. Thanks to him swooping in and pulling me out of there, I seemed to have calmed down. Thanks, Koyo. I turned to face the direction he walked off in and silently thanked him under my breath. Koyo's perspective? Oh, okay. We're doing this a lot, apparently. After splitting up with Misa, as various things ran through my mind, I found myself in front of the Tsukumo shrine. Stopping to admire the scene, my thoughts drifted to her. Maybe I should have stayed with her a little longer. My brow furrowed. I tried to distract her as much as possible, but I think I just ended up annoying her. Not that there was anything wrong with that. A little light conversation to get her mind off of things is probably best. I looked over to check the time on the phone of someone passing by. It was almost evening. Knowing him, he'd be at the park already. I could head there later tonight. Now, I had another person to add to the list of people I wanted to help cross over. Still, I had some time before nightfall. That gave me some time to look for clues about my regrets. And the person I died with, here. Back to Misa? A little after I split up with Koyo, I decided to visit Beachfront Park. The breeze feels nice, though I couldn't be sure if I was still able to feel the wind or if I was just imagining it. Still, as the cold sea breeze brushed by my forehead, I felt myself calming down. All right now. I wasn't here to enjoy the breeze. Sayaka always walked this path with her dog. Barring some special circumstances, they'd walk here every morning and either evening or night. Will she come here during the evening or at night? For now, I'll just wait here. It turned out the question I asked Koya before had contained some useful info at all. After all, will Sayaka come today? She will. She just has to. I don't know how I'd talk to her, but if she brought her dog with her, perhaps there'd be some way to reach her. If Koyo knew about the rumors of dogs being able to see ghosts, then surely cult-obsessed Sayaka would know that one too. Well, all of that depended on whether or not her dog could see me. No, it'll be fine. Something will work out. Knowing that nobody would be able to hear us, or nobody would be able to hear me, I let myself shout the words out loud. I was slowly getting used to my new existence and felt slightly refreshed by it. Still, what am I supposed to do while I wait? I guess I could just take in the scenery. Near the edge of my field of vision, I saw a man. He was shrinking his slender frame behind a slide on the playground. Even while hiding, he still managed to stand out. He was strikingly good looking. The guy sure looks cool. Could that be Sena? Speaking of which...
海浜公園に行ったらエスクラウンのセナに会えた？うわ、嘘くさい。この都市伝説 ファンの間ではかなり有名なんだよ。幽霊でも会いたいっていう人が。
It was just like the urban legend. I thought it was some kind of silly rumor, but it's really true. Come to think of it, Kuraha was nothing like his character in his scary story. He was actually very nice. I couldn't help but feel bad for the way I treated him earlier. Next time I see him, I'll be sure to be extra nice to him. But Sena appeared exactly as the rumors described him. I've got nothing to do until Sayaka shows up. I might as well go and say hello. He may have been a celebrity in life, but now that we're both dead, I guess I can talk to him. I casually approached him and tapped him on the shoulder.
Ah!
I hadn't intended to surprise him. Sorry, I didn't mean to surprise you.
そこだと目立つから。
Sena grabbed me by the arm and pulled me behind the playground equipment. Wait, why are we hiding? We're ghosts. Ah! He wrapped his arms around me as though he wanted to hold me. I raised my voice in protest, but...
シッ、静かにして。
He quickly told me to quiet down, so I abruptly went quiet.
ごめんね、巻き込んじゃって。見つかったら騒ぎになっちゃうから、もうちょっとだけ我慢してくれる？
If who sees you? I was puzzled by his words, but then two high school girls quickly came near.
はあ、セナいないね。だから言ったじゃん。ただの噂、ただの都市伝説。だってさ、SNS で昨日見たってつぶやき見ちゃったんだもん。来るしかないでしょ。あんたに猜疑心は皆無なの？もっと疑った方がいいよ。ほら帰ろ。あ、待ってよ。
With that, the girls' voices trailed off.
言ったみたいだね。ごめんね、荒っぽいことしちゃって。
Not at all. It's my fault for sneaking up on you. I'm sorry about that.
君には見つかっちゃったね。あの子たちに気を取られすぎたみたい。
There's something off about him. Both those girls were alive, so there was no reason to hide from them. I mean, it is an urban legend, but maybe some girls actually have been able to see him. Maybe he just wanted to be left alone today. In a way, I could relate. I'd been trying to sort out my feelings too, and knew I needed some time to do so. Must be hard to be a celebrity, huh?
そう思うならそっとしておいてほしいな。
I'm sorry.
なんてね。迫真の演技でびっくりしたでしょ。
I certainly was surprised. I'd never really heard him speak before, but I figured he would have been a little more aloof.
あれ？本当にびっくりしちゃってる？
Yeah, I always kind of figured you'd be a bit more reserved. But you're actually pretty fun to talk to, Sena.
はっは。さては君、僕のファンじゃないな。
Yeah, totally. As I tried to tell him I was a fan, he merely laughed, clearly seeing right through me.
僕まだまだだな。君もファンになるくらい、もっと頑張らないと。
You're still trying to increase your fans?
当たり前じゃない。もっと有名になって世界で活躍したいからさ。それが今の僕の夢だよ。
I was surprised to see the shining honesty in his eyes as he spoke. I thought Santa's urban legend spreading around the world was a really great idea, though I wondered if it was normal for ghosts to continue to have dreams. Not that I know that many other ghosts.
さてと、さっき付き合わせちゃったし、これも何かの縁だしね。何か君にしてあげたいな。と言っても、今は握手くらいしかできないけど。
A typical idol. I was trying to do something to please a fan. Still, after everything, I wondered how to respond. Fate, you say? Well, considering it's fate, if I see you here again, do you mind if I say hello? If it was fate, I thought it best to lean into it. He replied to my words with a puzzled expression. That's when I realized. I thought that because we were both ghosts, it'd be okay to speak casually, but in the end, he was still a celebrity, and even in death. Sorry, I might have said too much. I'm just glad I was able to talk to you today. Anyway, I've got something to do, so...
待って、そうじゃなくて。なんていうか、新鮮でさ、びっくりしちゃったというか、こういうのがナンパっていうのかな。初めての体験。
Pickup line? No, no, no. That wasn't my intention at all.
わかってるって。大胆な誘いでドキッとしちゃったけどね。
Bold? Well, maybe you're right. I'll be more careful from now on.
じゃあ、今度僕に声をかけるときは、静かに近づくのも気をつけてね。
Then that means... it's okay if I've talked to him again? It certainly seemed that way. I'll do my best not to sneak up on you again. He merely smiled and nodded back at me.
ちょっと名残惜しいけど、長居するとさっきの子たち、また来るかもしれないし。そろそろ帰ろうと思うんだけど、その前に、君の名前を教えてほしいな。
My name?
ごめん。出会ってまだ数分だし、怖かったかな。
Oh, it's nothing like that. I'm just happy you want to know my name. My name is Misa Isshiki.
ありがとう。僕はね、漢字で書くと、星と絆で、セナって読むんだ。
Oh, I was figured Sena was a stage name, but that really is your name, huh?
そうそう。結構気に入ってるから、そのまま芸名にしちゃったんだ。
It's a beautiful name, and it's very fitting for a shining star like you, Sena. Anyway, I'll be sure to say hello next time we bump into each other.
おう。君には、また会いたいかも。
It's interesting how these two talk much differently than Kuroha.
じゃあ、またね、ミサちゃん。
Right, see you later. After parting from him, I decided to take a little walk around the park. He certainly was friendly, wasn't he? Star and Bond. Fancy that. Oh, Sena's perspective. Oh, okay. Well, we're doing a lot of this. We didn't really do that much of this in the other two routes. After parting ways with Misa, I went for a walk by myself, and her words came back to me.
アイドルとして、キラキラ輝いている。か。
A lot of people had kind words to say about my name, but none of them had meant as much to me as hers. It's like she was praising who I am and also what I do. I wanted to keep her words in my heart. More than that, I felt myself wanting to be worthy of the words she used to describe me. I looked up to the sky. Night had fallen, and the orange sky turned to a dazzling blue. I smiled at the twinkling stars.
また、会いたいな。
I talked too much today. I'd like to hear more about her next time. I mean, I guess that's an interesting detail they followed with Kuroha and Hibiki being older. That they would talk significantly different than these two younger characters who were, didn't die anywhere near as long ago as the first two characters, as Hibiki and Kuroha. So, yeah, interesting. As the surrounding area grew dark, I walked absentmindedly in the park, my thoughts turning to my family. That sounded like a dog barking. I didn't know what Sayaka's dog sounded like, but that bark was similar to a dog like hers. I quickly stood up and looked around. There she is. Sayaka. No, actually, I should call her dog over here. As I mumbled to myself, the two of them quickly passed by me. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, Tono Daramu? Over here. I had played with her dog many times and had known her since she was a puppy. Please notice me. It's me, Misa. Just then, she stopped. Oh, did she... Tono Damaru. This way, girl. Tomodadaru... Damaru... Oh, man. That needs to be a shorter name. Wriggled back and forth, seeming to look for me. I wonder if she can't see me. Maybe she can only hear me?
殿田丸、どうしたの？そっちじゃなくてこっちだよ。
Sayaka tried to pull on Tonodamaru's leash, but the dog refused to move.
ちょっと、どうしちゃったの？いつもこっちがコースなのに。
Tonodamaru, please. Please make Saya notice me. You're my only hope. Please come this way. I had no way of knowing if she understood me. But after I spoke, Tonodamaru began to approach me.
ちょっと。
Tonodamaru began to pull Sayaka towards me. Thank you, Tonodamaru. Why can't we just call you Tono? I'd love to pet you, but I'm sorry. With that, Tonodamaru came running towards my feet. I wondered if Sayaka would notice.
ほら、ここには何もないよ。私、調べ物があるから、早めに帰らなきゃいけないんだ。なに？抗議してるの？ごめんね。大事なことなんだ。ほら、行くよってば。もうなんなのさ。そこに幽霊でもいるの？
After she spoke, Sayaka's expression changed.
そこに何かいるの？
Sayaka followed Tonodamaru's line of sight and squinted as though she was looking for something. Sayaka, it's me, Misa. I know you probably can't hear me, huh? I'm sorry the last thing before I ended up like this was to make you sad. I'm really, really sorry.
もしそこにいるのがミサなら、私あなたを事故に遭わせてしまって本当にごめんなさい。
What? Huh? What is she saying?
私があんなことしたからいけなかった。本当にバカなことをしたと思ってる。本当にごめんなさい。
Sayaka collapsed and Tonodamaru rushed over to lean on her. I was struggling to understand what she said. Wait, first of all, what did I do yesterday? Did something happen with Sayaka? I tried to remember, but my memory only went back until the end of school. Sayaka's words kept repeating in my mind. My accident. Has nothing to do with Sayaka. This had nothing to do with Sayaka, and until I got my memories back, I wasn't going to imagine the worst. Sayaka and I had been friends since kindergarten. She wasn't the type of person to hurt other people. I'm only going to believe what I've seen from her before. But I still need to try and figure out why she said those things. Without a doubt, there was a lot of meaning behind Sayaka's words that I still didn't understand. The only way for me to find out was really going on. Wait, the only way for me to find out what was really going on was to recover my memories. If I can manage to stay calm, everything will be fine. Sure, what she said just now was hurtful, but Sayaka must be in a lot of pain too. You'll be all right. Just stay positive. After following Sayaka back to her house, I peered over to look at my house next door. Nobody was home, and everything was dark. I couldn't help but worry. I'm so tired. Just then, Koyo's words came back to me. I don't really get what you mean. What's so bad about a ghost being upset?
悪霊と化す。
I wonder if I'll be all right. Overwhelmed with worry, the words just slipped out of my mouth. I should find a place to rest for the night. I wanted to rest in my own room, but I knew that if I saw or heard any more stressful things, I would become a wraith. Yeah, this is nice. These different sections take place in different locations. though not everything is just in the school. I opened my eyes to see a bed, a medical cabinet, and white curtains. This was not my usual bed. It was the nurse's office in Narimigahama High. Again, that's too many syllables. As I looked for a place to rest, I came across the school nurse's office.
おはよう。その様子だとあまり眠れなかったよね。
Oh, is Yui here? Oh, she is here. Yui. Good morning. Thanks for showing this place to me.
私の家ではないのだし、お礼は必要ないわ。
With that, Yui smiled broadly back at me. We had met here the previous night. I came and sat down here to rest my eyes when I suddenly felt someone's gaze on me. When I opened my eyes and looked around, I saw a pair of eyes staring at me through the curtains that divided the beds. But, okay, that's a little creepy. The moment our eyes met, I let out a terrified scream. Those eyes belonged to Yui. The way we met was a little frightening, but she turned out to be very friendly, and I was relieved to have someone to talk to.
それよりも少しは楽になったかしら。
Yeah, a little.
多少でも変わったのならよかったわ。幽霊も睡眠をとれば精神が安定する仕様ならよかったのだけれど。
I know, right? As a rule, ghosts couldn't sleep. At most, they could just lay down and close their eyes. Being awake all the time as thoughts race through your mind, doesn't really let your heart or mind rest. I quickly learned how difficult it was to lay flat and attempted to free your mind all night.
あら、あなたのそばに何か落ちている。
Following her gaze, I looked down at the floor to see a piece of paper next to me.
このようなものが落ちているなんて珍しいこともあるのね。
What do you mean, strange?
あなたここの生徒だったのに、保健室のことはまるで知らないのね。
My health was really the only thing I had going for me. I had only visited the health office a few times before I died.
ここは他の教室とは違って、いつもきれいにしているのよ。保健医の女性がきれい好きなおかげで、塵一つ落ちていないのが常よ。
Oh, now that you mention it, the room is always cleaner than the others.
私がこの紙を拾えれば、ゴミ箱にポイッとするのに。不自由な体だわ。
Yui squatted down as she spoke, poking the paper with the tip of her finger.
今、紙が動いたわ。
Really? Are you sure it's not just your imagination? Ghosts aren't able to interact with the physical world, right? She ignored what I said and reached down to touch the piece of paper. Then, she picked it up. What? How?
何か書いてあるわ。進路希望調査票?
This is the time of the year where students are filling those out. Makes sense it would be here. But then, why was it ripped like that? And on top of that, why was Yui able to pick it up?
あなたが休んでいたそばに落ちていて、幽霊である私が触れられて。
As she thought about the situation, I couldn't help but get wrapped up in it too. No matter how I thought about it, I couldn't understand why the paper was ripped, as to why Yui was able to interact with it. Can I try holding it? Would you mind if I take a look at it? Yui handed me the ripped sheet of paper, and as soon as I touched it, I saw it. Countless images flashed before my eyes, and I began to feel dizzy, falling hard onto the floor.
しっかりして。どうしたというの?
I'm fine. I just got a little dizzy, that's all. What was that?
もしかして、その紙が原因ではなくて? 触れた途端、様子がおかしくなったように見えたわ。
Yes, I think so. What had I just seen? I didn't even know where to begin investigating, but the moment I touched it, a bunch of images started flashing before my eyes. You didn't see anything, right, Yui?
ええ、ただ拾えただけよ。
So, it was only me who saw those images. I looked down at the paper in my hand. Career Path Survey. I had worried a lot about this paper in life, but the images I saw before didn't ring a bell. Well, maybe it was too early to say that definitely. Or definitively. After all, there were still parts of my memory from the day I died that were missing. Perhaps the images I saw were memories from my last day alive. Maybe this paper has something to do with my death?
あなたにだけ特別なことが起こったのなら、それはあなたのものだからかもしれないわ。
Belongs to me.
生前に思い入れのあったものなら、幽霊になった後でも触れることができると聞いたことがあるわ。
Could this printout really be mine?
ねえ、よかったら話してくれるかしら。あなたの力になれるかもしれないわ。
Perhaps it was because I was tilting my head inquisitively that she spoke out. Still, I was grateful for her offer to talk. Actually, there are still some things I don't remember. The accident, my memories, and that piece of paper. I told her about all of them. As I spoke, Yui merely listened silently.
あなたの考えだけれど、その進路のプリントもそうだけれど、あなたの見た映像も忘れている記憶と関連している可能性があるわね。
Yeah, they must be. I should go to the places I saw right away. Thanks for listening, Yui. You really helped me out.
いいのよ。幽霊同士、助け合っていきましょう。
Her compassion warmed my heart. I was glad I came here to rest. I had rested somewhere else. Or had I rested somewhere else, I might never have met Yui. I'm going to head to one of the places I saw in my vision. Maybe that will help me restore my final memories.
頑張ってね。応援しているわ。あ、休むときはここを使ってちょうだい。
Right, thanks. Anyway, I'll see you later.
いってらっしゃい。
As I waved goodbye to her, I felt overwhelmed with relief that I'd found a safe place to stay. I've got to do my best to get my memories back. I should go look for some clues. Let's see, Tsukuma Shrine or Naonigama High School. I guess we're doing Seina's route, so we need to go see Seina. My teacher said the accident that ended my life occurred at the intersection near Tsukumu Shrine. In my vision from before, I had seen the same place. As I listened to the buzz of traffic whir by, I took a deep breath. I was standing in the very spot where I died. Truthfully, I had been afraid to come here. I didn't even want to look. Even in death, it seems we always look for a way to avoid facing our own demise. But I had to do this. I had to sort things out. And to find out the meaning behind the words Sayaka said to me last night. I have to know what happened here. I took another deep breath and turned my gaze to face the intersection. There, on the ash-colored asphalt, was a large, eerie, dark red stain. Could that be... Before coming here, I thought I'd prepare myself for this, but seeing it there so vividly... Next to the stain were black tire marks, indicating someone trying to stop quickly. I wanted to avert my gaze, if only for a moment. I looked down at my feet and saw... this is... It looks like the paper I picked up in the school's nurse's office. I went to pick it up and found that I could. Looking closer, it was indeed part of the same paper. Written in the name section was Isshiki. I had written my name on the paper at school a few days before the accident. I held it next to the paper I found in the office. Then, at that moment, a light came from my hand and... It's hard to believe, but when I put them together, the two pieces became one. What is this? Since becoming a ghost, I had heard so many strange stories and had so many odd experiences. But among all those paranormal experiences, this seemed to be the strangest. But then again, I had a feeling that sheet was mine. The hypothesis I had made in the nurse's office turned out to be correct. So, it's about my future, huh? I figured since I had died, none of this would matter anymore. But here I was. These thoughts about my future brought two people to mind, Sayaka and my mom. Of the two of them, the one related to my accident was... I guess Sayaka, yeah. Maybe Sayaka? After all, when the two of us talked about my future, she ended up crying. I know she was looking forward to going to Seigen together. Or Seigen together. And I just changed my plans all of a sudden. That must have really shocked her. So maybe this is all my fault? Because of me, Sayaka totally lost her mind.
ねえ、大丈夫？
I turned to face the voice that called out to me and found Sena staring at me with a concerned look on his face. Ah, it's you, Sena.
何があったかわからないけど、早まるのはダメだよ。
Huh?
辛いことがあったのかもしれない。でも、死ぬのは違うから。
Dying?
あれ？君、道路に飛び出そうとしていたんじゃないの？
What? No. No, I was just thinking some things over.
はあ、なんだ。よかった。思い詰めたような顔してたから、てっきり。
I mean, I'm already dead, so... It seemed he was worried about me and had called out to stop me. But why did he talk about dying? That's kind of weird. Besides, even if I did jump into the street... Just as I spoke, I spied a pair of men in suits walk past us.
ここが事故の現場だな。ええ、つくも神社の神主から通報が入って。
Are they talking about my accident? Oh, then I guess that means they're police. Just then, the two of them entered the shrine. This might be my chance to learn more about my accident.
ねえ、どうしたの？
I'm sorry, I've got something I have to take care of. Excuse me.
あ、ちょっと。
I ignored Sena's voice as he called out to me and rushed into the shrine. Just as the two police had said, it seemed the priest was the one who reported the accident.
ですから、一昨日も言ったではありませんか。大きな音が鳴り響いて、急いで前の通りに出たら、もう事故が起きた後だったのです。
通りに出た時、歩道に人はいたでしょう。不審な動きをする人はいませんでしたか？例えば、その場から逃げていくような素振りの人とか。
Anyone suspicious?
目の前の惨状に注目していたのですから、他に目をやる暇なんてありませんでしたよ。それに、不審者を見ていたら、とっくに伝えています。
そうですか。もし何か思い出すことがあったら、すぐにご連絡をお願いいたします。それでは、ご協力ありがとうございました。
はい、ご苦労様です。
With that, the police officers took their leave, and the priest continued sweeping the premises. It's almost like they expected him to give them some information about a suspicious person. That means it's possible this wasn't an accident, but rather an attack. Meaning I didn't run into the street, but was pushed.
私、あなたを事故に遭わせてしまって本当にごめんなさい。私があんなことしたからいけなかった。本当にバカなことをしたと思ってる。
My vision began to fill with darkness. If this wasn't an accident, but an attack, the person who killed me was... Sayaka? I mean, it wasn't. Well, not directly. Oh, that brings up my insanity. Okay. Sayaka? No, wait. She's my friend. She wouldn't. Uh, uh, why am I thinking these scary thoughts? No, 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 no. No, I've got to stop thinking things like this. That's right. I should head to the next place. As I reached the edge of the shrine.
ねえ、やっぱり大丈夫じゃないよね。
Huh? I quickly spun around to find Sena standing right behind me. Oh, don't scare me like that.
あ、ごめんね。僕も神社に用があった。というか、ただお参りに来ただけなんだけどさ。ちょうど君も入っていったから、何してるのかなーって様子見てたら、ブツブツ独り言言ってたから気になって。
Note to self, even as a ghost, don't talk to yourself loudly. I was just mulling over some things, same as before.
あんまり思い詰めないでね。今日は時間があるし、君さえ良ければ話を聞くよ。
It seems like I made him worry again. What should I do? This was the second time he'd asked me about all this, and it didn't seem like he was going to take no for an answer. Still, I have to try and deflect, right? Concerns. Actually, it might be weird to totally deflect. Maybe I could just redirect the conversation. I'm fine, really, but if you're coming here to pray, is there something on your mind, Sena?
ないない。僕は願掛けをしに来たってだけなんだ。世界でも通用するアイドルになれますようにって。それが今の僕の夢だから。
He gave me the same line last night, but with one obvious difference.
僕まだまだだな。君もファンになるくらいもっと頑張らないと。
You're still trying to increase your fans?
当たり前じゃない。もっと有名になって世界で活躍したいからさ。それが今の僕の夢だよ。
I thought he meant he wanted to become even more famous as an urban legend. Did he mean as an idol? But he's already dead.
あ、なれないって思ってるんでしょ。
Well, that's...
実はね、叶うかどうかは僕も自信がないんだ。
Oh, does he not know he's dead?
でも、叶うように行動している時がすごく楽しいから諦められない。
Oh, I guess the way he's behaving, it would seem like he doesn't know.
夢をつかんだ時の達成感は何者にも代え難い喜びがあるけど、夢を見続けている間のあのワクワク感も僕にとってはたまらなく心地よくてさ。
Sena's eyes dazzled with the shine of someone who was feeling truly alive. If I were to ever have a dream, I'd love to be that passionate about it. As a ghost, his dream would never come true, and yet I felt envious of him. I feel like just looking at you brings me hope for the future, Sena. I feel like I can do anything. You make me feel braver than I really am.
君の力になれたなら話をそらされた甲斐もあったかな。
Yeah, he noticed that I tried to change the topic. Sorry, but seriously,
大丈夫。そう言いたいんでしょ。
Yes, but maybe I was just forcing myself to say that. I mean, I don't know if I'm feeling terrible. I guess I'm just nervous. But thanks to your words, I really do feel a lot better, Sena. Thank you. Sena smiled shyly back at me.
今はオフモードだからアイドルのセナじゃないけど、普通の僕でも力になれてほっとしたよ。
Not that I'd seen much of idol Sena in the past, but I think this version's great too. Actually, I think the normal everyday Sena is pretty wonderful too.
すごい褒め言葉。嬉しすぎて照れちゃうな。ねえ、よかったら。
Just as Sena began to speak, From a short distance away, the priest turned his attention to us.
あ、僕はもう行くね。ここにセナがいるってバレたら神社に迷惑がかかっちゃうかもしれないから。
Without waiting for my reply, Senna left the shrine in a hurry. Why would it cause a problem for the shrine?
この辺りか。
Yeah. Before I realized that the priest was standing right next to me.
何やらここで気配を感じたが。
Can you see me? Seeing as he was a priest, maybe he was also a little psychic. Please listen to me. I'm a ghost, and
よし、物は試しじゃ。
as if to introduce himself to me, he straightened his posture and bowed deeply. Then from his mouth escaped a cheerful prayer of praise.
ああ、かけまくも賢き。
Huh? Once the priest finished his prayer, he nodded to himself with satisfaction.
あ、気のせいじゃな。
Wait a minute. He turned to leave, his feet crunching on the gravel below. All I could do was let my shoulders sag. Sena's perspective. Yeah, Sena doesn't know he's dead. That's interesting. That's an interesting take. Oh, already this is like a better route than Hibiki's route. I really did not like Hibiki's route. I didn't like his character at all. Oh well. We'll stop it there. This is meowmurai. You've been watching 9 R.I.P. Running on Nintendo Switch 2. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.